Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go post our link to get into this room on our website. The website is denverguitarorchestra.com. YouTube's acting kind of funny to this so far this morning, so we'll see if this class actually happens or not. And but for now, we're going to hope it does. Orchestra's website is denverguitarorchestra.com. Swing by there, pick up all the sheet music, and we meet here every day, Monday through Friday, in this time slot to play guitar. Three different levels during the week. Brand new player level, advancing player, and then pretty advanced player each day. And then on Thursday nights, we have the super crazy, difficult pieces. Um, and so you will obviously want to be a part of all that as well. Go in here and make sure that this is working properly. Today we are playing, as we do every day, the level one song is Brother John. We played the level one song all week long so that the newer players can get in and get to playing it well. And then we play one level two song, and one level three song, a different one each day, so that by the end of the week we have 9 songs all together that we are playing. And on Fridays we of course do scales as well. So kind of a program that we just do over and over and over. And then theoretically, you end up being the world's greatest guitar player. And we'll see how that works out. I need to go tweet this, put this on Twitter. Trying to get a little bit of knowledge that we're doing this out there. DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. On Friday, I Facebook us as well. So, all right. So there's that. And I close this out. And good morning, everybody. How are we today? Sherry, good morning. Sherry's been joining us starting this month. She's gonna blow us out of the water. She's a local here. Vic is joining us. Vic's been with me a long time now. Out of Eugene, Oregon. If you're up there and you need a guitarist, a harmonica player, or a ukulele player, or I'm not sure what else you play, Vic, that's the person to call. Pauline, Northern California, sound and light are okay. Lighting is, we've got, it's funny, it's a kind of an overcast day here in Denver, and so the lighting works a little better on those days. Evelyn out of Ecuador, 67 degrees and sunny in Cuenca. Sound and lighting is great. Yay! All right, so we're doing good so far. Awesome. Today, let's see what time it is. I'm running a tiny bit late. I had some meetings that I had to get to first thing this morning about the ever-loving condo. I think I'm getting close to having a new manager in place, so I don't have to be the manager. And we are the last meeting, I hope, for the week will be at 2:30 this afternoon, and then we'll see how they do. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Remember, tomorrow is Friday, right? So tomorrow we're going to play Brother John, and then we're going to play Dale, Colorado Trail, Down in the Valley, Daisy Bell, Drunken Sailor, Danny Boy, Go Tell Aunt Rhody, and Down by the Riverside. So we have a lot going on tomorrow. It'll take us the entire hour almost to play all 9 songs, and no instruction tomorrow, just playing music. Then tonight, at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we have the level 4 meeting. And so I have it at night because a lot of the local people here are not able to join us during the day. And I want them to, my idea is that they keep playing so that when we can start meeting face to face again, that they will have kept their skills up. It's not exactly working out. About 2 of them are showing up for that, but you know how people are. So, so tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we will be playing Yesterday, Blackbird, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and a mystery classical guitar song. And so we're going to start doing some standard notation on Thursday nights. And so there's really very little in the way of instruction there. We talk about the song, but it's not really instructional. And then so try to join us for that as well. So today, tonight, and tomorrow we're busy. Let's see, what else? That's what I need to know. That's what I think I need to know. Oh, Vic's been using my arrangements for piano. Yeah, that's one of the things I want to spend a little bit of time on too, is teaching everybody to how to play from a lead sheet, which every single thing I put out is essentially a lead sheet, and you can just actually play on any instrument, especially melody instruments and piano. If you know how to play your melody, then you just accompany yourself with chords, which are already on the sheet music. So, yeah, I like the overall format of the music that we put out and we use around here because it's pretty useful for other things. All right. If you missed lessons 1, 2, and 3 for the week, it would be a great idea for you to review those just to make sure you're knowing everything that's going on. I think everybody here is regulars, so you probably already saw those. So let's go start with playing Brother John this morning. Let's. It's not going to be in the ukulele folder, that's for sure. Let's go into the guitar folder, grab Brother John. Again, those of you guys that are new, that I say it every day, or probably every day, this piece of music is the most important piece of music that you can play as a new fingerstyle guitarist. It teaches you every single thing that you need to know, every single thing, with the exception of arpeggios and changing chords. Everything else on here is going to be stuff that happens every day in your life, and so make sure that you're getting really comfortable with this and not feeling like, oh, that's too easy, or I sort of got it, I can move on. I want you to know everything on this page cold. So let's talk about the chord again. E chord, 3 strings up, first fret. I'm going to put it's easier for me to look up here. 3 strings up, 3rd string, and that's the index finger in the 1st fret. 5 strings up is your 5th string, and that's where your middle finger goes, 2nd fret, and ring finger right below it. Okay. Oh gosh, something happened tuning wise. What did I do? Like what? There's where. I wonder what happened there. Sometime I haven't had enough coffee to drink when I have tuned my guitar. So E chord, dunk, dunk, dunk. I'm going to sing. Now the big thing with this is, well, there's 2 main things. One is first time you go through, play it in one way. Maybe thumb, maybe index finger, maybe plucking, maybe arpeggios. Okay, so this is kind of a song when you are singing it is really about your right hand, right? The chord you're just going to stay the same the whole time. So what creative things can you do with your right hand? The other important issue on this is how to read repeats. So with this song, you're going to go play down through measure 8 the first time, and then the second time you come through, you're not going to play measure 8. You're going to play 9 through 9 and 10. Now, it turns out on this song they're basically identical, but you need to know that because down the road they will not be identical. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Sonele Martinez, Sonele Martinez. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. Dormez-vous, dormez-vous. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. Make the ending fancy, right? Do something different, or do something dramatic so your audience knows that you finished and you are awesome. Okay, so getting your E chord under your belt and it's memorized and you don't have to think about it, it just goes on. It's one of your jobs as a new player. I got to play an E chord all of the time, and so it's just there. Normally, you have to peek up and make sure your index finger's on the right string, and then your other 2 fingers will follow in quite happily. Then, more important than that is, did I say hi, Elizabeth? Good morning, Elizabeth. Is playing the melody, okay, and that's on your guitar melody line, and that's those 6 lines are your 6 strings. They're upside down. Bottom string on your guitar is the top line of your tablature. That's true for banjo, mandolin, ukulele, balalaika, all of the fretted instruments. Tablature is written the same way. It's always upside down. And so once you get it, then you can play all the instruments. Here we go. 0240 797-457 797-540 other string 0 string other string 0. Here we go. 1 2 ready play. One more time. Let's do it again because I messed it up pretty good. 1 2 3 4. Let's do it again. I messed it up pretty good. 1 2 3 4. Good. Now you can definitely tell when Gary is struggling is when I'm doing this, and I have never studied this very much, and now I'm taking classical guitar lessons. This is what we do, right? And so I am in the process of getting my brain around this. This index middle ring business, and PIMA. That's what I'm working on myself, and got a ways to go. Clearly, Brother John is a great place to work it on. Those of you guys who like your tough axe, this is not level 1, so if you're brand new to guitar, please listen to see where you're headed, but don't feel like you need to play the tough axe line. Tough axe, please, if you are ready. 1 2 3 4. There it is. Gosh, I don't have a dot on 5 on this guitar. I'm going to put a dot on 5 because I miss it all the time. Let's start again from the top. 1 2 3 4. All right. Pretty iffy job there, Gary. The rest of you, hopefully, are playing better than I am this morning. Brother John, I do think the tough acts on the one chord songs are actually harder than the tough axes on the multiple chord songs because you end up in these very complicated shapes in order to get the E chord underneath there. So, all right, nice job, everybody. Let's move on. We've got 2 other songs to get to today. The first song is Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Now, here's the thing about Go Tell Aunt Rhody. If you were writing a children's song, the first thought you would probably have is, I'm going to write about a dead goose who has now orphaned all of her babies. That's top on mind. That's probably number 1 that children need to be singing about. Number 2, I would be thinking about trying to make it relatively singable, relatively easy, one nice little melody to it. And then number three, I would be thinking, hey, Gary has a friend down who lives down the hall, who is 93 years old, and she says that her favorite American song. She grew up in Germany. Her favorite American song is "Go Tell Aunt Rhody." So then you would say, well, yeah, if I'm going to write "Go Tell Aunt Rhody," eventually Hilda's going to love this song. Gary's going to put it in his guitar book, and it's about a dead goose. Now, the real issue here is learning the chords. Okay, so if you are newer, C chord is kind of a bummer. Index finger here on two. Second string, first fret. Then middle finger, second fret, fourth string up. And then ring finger is the fifth string up on the third fret. Okay, Sherry says, I'm on the struggle bus today. Me too, right? So we'll struggle together, Sherry. All right, so C chord. Several things about this. This is much harder than the level 1 chords, right? That's a pretty challenging shape to begin on. The other thing about it is you'd rather not hit the sixth string. You'd rather not hit this string because it's an E note. And it sounds okay, but it doesn't sound great. It sounds out of place. So on this one, we usually just do 5 down. Okay. And if you're trying to get a really solid, you'll only do the interior strings, 5, 4, 3, and 2, because when you're holding this down, you have a C note on the top and a C note on the bottom. And I will tell you, it's not, those of you guys who are thinking about doing a little bit more classical, a little bit more standard notation reading, you don't have to in guitar. You do not have to do that. But if some of you want to, it's important to remember this is a C and that's a C. Those are really good anchors for your brain. Okay. Now there's lots of systems out there. I know Elizabeth has been working on one of memorizing rock and roll guitarists who use electric guitars and tons of bar chords. They memorize where the notes are on these 2 strings right off the bat, basically, so that they then anchor their other chord shapes based on the notes that are on these 2 strings. But being somebody who likes to play open as much as possible, I have learned, hey, I'm going to anchor my C here, and I'm going to anchor that C here in my head so that I know, hey, those are C notes, and like when I get to a C chord, starts with the C, ends with the C, there's one C in the middle, right? Just really beautiful. And then, not unimportantly, right below that, there's an F chord or an F note. So if C is here, F is hanging out right below it. So those are kind of helpful notes to just anchor in your head as you're starting to study standard notation. And of course, you already know the open string names, E, A, D, G, B, E. So those are other ones that are automatically anchored in your head. So all of a sudden, just by knowing one chord, 6 notes plus 2 more plus 1 more, right? So what is that? 9 notes you already know well, and there are only 12. So so you're in pretty good shape. All right. Now, the other chord after C, of course, is G, and that's a book 1 chord. So index, middle, and ring. I just gave you the basic open one here. And you may find it helpful to do the fancy G chord, because when you play the tough acts, you are going to be doing that fancy chord. Okay? All right. So then before you ever start a song, go back and tell your fingers what they're going to be doing. Here's a C chord, 2, and then you go to G chord. And back to C. Back to G. 1, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Just train them a little bit. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3. When I got back into playing, that's one of the things I did. I didn't have sheet music in front of me most of the time when I was trying to get my brain back in order. I just said, all right, I'm going to use these 3 chords or these 2 chords. And I just played chords for a while. And you make up goofy songs, right? This is a song that I'm working on right now. Trying to get my fingers where they go, where they're supposed to. Drinking coffee, 3 cups today. Oh my gosh. Gonna be a little bit crazy this afternoon. Right? So just get really comfy with getting back and forth between those 2 chords, especially newer players. There's that's one of your tasks as a newer player is just to get super comfortable with switching from chord to chord, and it doesn't really matter what the chords are, because as an instrumentalist you're going to be playing all the chords and all the difficult chords. So getting yourself really solid on these basic chords, it's going to be pretty darn important. All right, let's sing a couple of verses of this. Again, when you're singing, you're thinking, all right, I'm going to be switching chords now. Okay, so that's one job I have to do. Then I've got my right hand job, sometimes thumb, sometimes index finger, sometimes plucking multiples, and sometimes plucking individuals. So with that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. On this one, if you are doing arpeggios like that, you're going to be thinking about, when I'm on a C, I'd love to have my thumb on that C, on this string, fifth string, because I'm holding a C note. 1, C, C, C. And then when I switch to a G chord, I probably would love to have my thumb pop up to this top string, which is now holding a G note. And you can use any of the other strings below it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that might sound pretty. Okay. And so again, using your low notes to help anchor your thought is helpful. Carolyn says, would you repeat your clever line to help us remember the names of the guitar strings? Oh, yeah, you're required by law to memorize this phrase. Eddie ate dynamite. Okay, that's the first. Eddie ate dynamite. Okay, and nothing good's coming from that. Goodbye, Eddie. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Okay, that's something I want you to memorize. Okay, I want you to memorize it like it's a part of your DNA. Okay? Because there's going to come a time when you're wandering around and there's an unsupervised guitar and you're like, I'm going to play that thing. Right? So you're going to have the first thing, it will never be in tune. So you're going to have to tune it up. And we haven't talked yet about relative tuning, but we will. Of how you tune up a guitar if you don't have a tuner. And so we will be spending some time on that. I try to avoid it until book 2 or at least the second song in book 1. It's back in the day before did clip-on tuners. That's how you tune guitars. Everybody agreed. All right, here's your A string. Everybody got their A as close as they could, and then you would go through and relative tune your guitar. So Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. That's a great first thing to memorize. All right, let's Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Supposed to be sung 4 times. It gets so sad by the end, you can't keep going. So 2 times through is plenty. And remember, when you come down to measure 8, you go into that and you hit the repeat. The second time you come down, since we're only playing it twice, you don't play measure 8. You skip over into measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go tell Aunt Rhody, oh, go tell Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody, the old gray goose is dead. Isn't that a cheery song? The one she's been saving, the one she's been saving, the one she's been saving to make her feather bed. So a couple of different ideas with my right hand. I didn't use them all. I just used one version the first time through, and a second time the third time, a different version the second time through. I would say if you enjoy singing, getting as comfortable as soon as possible with plucking arpeggio patterns. would be where I am. This is what Dolly Parton does. Is she simplifies her chords over here based on she tunes her guitar differently than we do, and then she's got those big long fingernails, so she mostly does straight bar chords. Occasionally she'll add in a modification to these bar chords, and then she's really using her right hand with all these super smart and complicated arpeggios over here. And of course, she's plucking those with her fingernails. But the idea is the sooner you can get comfortable with, the sooner you sound like you really know what you're doing. And that sounds pretty sophisticated, right? Go tell and, whoops, wrong chord. Go tell and rodeo, go tell and rodeo. That sounds fancy, and so a lot of it. So if you like singing, that's something I would definitely be doing. You're welcome, Carol. All right, so there's your chords. There's me singing. It's never a good thing. Let's go on to the melody. As I always recommend, hey, take a moment to peek through the melody. I see zeros, I see ones, and I see threes. So I know right away. My ones are all going to be played with my index finger. My threes are all going to be played with my ring finger. I don't have any twos and I don't have any fours. So I'm going to be playing in first position the whole time. I'm just going to be double checking where where those two fingers are showing up on the frets. Okay, let's start at the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, oh, 3, 1, 1. 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1. One more time. 1, oh, oh, 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, oh, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, oh, 1. Okay, and then let that one really ride out. When you have a long, one of the things to think about when you have a long note like that, give it a little wiggle on here. Don't lift it up or don't move it at all. Just wiggle it a tiny bit, and you get a little tiny bit of vibrato on that. It's easier with your ring or pinky, but even your index finger can get a little vibrato out of it. All right, I'm not doing anything fancy, just wiggling it a little bit, and then your guitar string goes wah 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 a little bit. It sounds kind of cool. All right, so that's the melody. That's something you guys want to, and those of you guys that are new, that's something you should be able to tackle right now. Even if you're just starting out with Brother John, you're understanding the system. The entire song here is played on strings 1 or string 2, and then you just have to pick the correct fret. Okay. The other thing, those of you who are more advanced, again, be thinking about playing these strings every other note, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, and then go back and do it the other way, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, and then try index, ring, index, ring, index, ring, index, ring, and then try ring, index, ring, index, ring, index. And again, I would say you can definitely do that on some of the exercises you find on the internet. There's, Kurt Werner. Is it Kurt? Is that his first name? Werner. Bradford Werner has this beautiful book with tons of exercises, and Elizabeth got one and showed it to me, and it's just amazing. But you can also just do it on these regular level 2 songs. You know the melody, so the melodies are not going to kill you, and it gives you a chance to play a real song with those particular techniques, and just start continuing to build your smartness of your right hand. Elizabeth says, "I love the Hilda Gary story." Yeah, Hilda is a treasure until Hilda's not a treasure. Let's put it that way. We love her to death. She's still here living on her own, 93 years old, lives down the hall. When you see her coming, you have to decide if you have 30 minutes because she's going to talk to you for a while. And you're like, oh, gosh. Yeah, she thinks this is my favorite American song. and she loves music. She still plays piano, and she was a violin player and Baritone Ukulele. She always says that. I'm trying to mimic her German accent. I'm not very good at it, but super fun lady. All right, so we know how to play the melody. We know how to play the chords for not for new people, right? Not and if you're in book 1, but book 2 and beyond. I want you to start thinking about tough acts. Okay, so the first chord is a C chord, and you just strum it. And then the zero's already open, so you play that. And now you have a 3, so you're going to have to play that with your pinky. And then you take that pinky right back on, and you just play 4 strings. And then a couple 1s, you're already holding them down. Now you're going to switch to the G chord, and your ring finger is going to hit the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Hit the 3 again. Now you're going to have to abandon that chord to go get the 1, which is fine, and then immediately put your C chord on and play all 5 strings. Pinky to get the 3, and then 2 1s. Okay, now your pinky's on the 1st string here. Hit the 3 1, and then a regular C chord, a couple more 1s. Switch to your G chord, ring finger on the 2nd string. Abandon the chord to get the 1, hit the 3, hit the 0, and then put a nice C chord on. And then hit some decorative notes here. And then your key is to hit that 1, which is your pickup note to go back up to the top of this, to the pickup to go back to the top of the song. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Let's play it one more time. I blew the end kind of pretty good. One more time. Sorry. Second ending. Okay. I missed that chord in measure 3 because I was all busy worried about the goslings. Let's see. I need to put in count in. If you don't know the song, go read the words, and you will know how incredibly sad it is. All right. All right. I hate it when I have changes to book 2. I just posted a new book 2. All right. All right. There's Go Tell Aunt Rhody. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. By the way, I did write out the arpeggio pattern here, and it's if you were getting started on arpeggios, usually book 3 and beyond, you're working on arpeggios. But the arpeggio line here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when you switch to the G, you switch to 4. Just switch the strings, but the pattern stays the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to C it. And I think if I ever, well, not if, when I rewrite this book again, I'm going to put all of the arpeggios like this. Because I just think they teach a whole lot about root noting, as well as just keeping your fingers steady and really making that good. Sherry says, "Oh, so sad. Honk, honk." Yeah, I don't know who writes songs like this for children. It seems crazy. Like there's a show called Two and a Half Men out there, and the main guy is a songwriter, and he's a rascal, and he's always doing bad things. And he ends up writing some children's songs. Well, they're all about farting and burping and all this stuff. And yeah, those are the songs you should be writing for kids. Okay. Finally, let's go do Down by the Riverside. Down by the Riverside is actually surprisingly it's the kind of song you're like, well, I don't know, that's not really my kind of music. But when you start to put the whole thing together, you end up with, well, there's plenty to do here. So let me go down. There it is. This song introduces some percussion ideas. Now, when you go on YouTube now and you look for fingerstyle stuff, they're all busy doing all this percussion stuff, which is super cool once or maybe twice. But after the 300th fingerstyle video you watch, you're like, you know what? I'm fine if they don't do any more percussion. So let me give you some ideas on percussion. Third cup. I'm going to pick a fight with somebody. The little asterisks, little snowflake things I put on here to give you a chance to do some percussion. Okay, three basic ways to do percussion, and then you be creative after that. But look at the end of measure 2. Now in the tablature I put 0 0, but I don't really want you to put that play 0 0 on this 5th string. I don't really want you to do that. I want you to play tap tap. Okay, and again we have three basic major ways of doing this. I usually do the simple one, which is just take these fingers and tap the guitar. 1 2. But a lot of fingerstyle players will use their thumb. Okay, and then I've seen a ton of this lately, which is where they take this string, 6th string, and they tap it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that because you're slamming your string into your frets, which is not necessarily great for them, but you get a very characteristic, that kind of a sound. It's a whole lot. So if it were me and I was going to practice that, I'm like, yeah, maybe someday I'll use that. I would be tapping with my thumb. Since I'm probably never going to be doing that, I'm tend to tap with my fingers here. So what it's going to be is, I'm going to lay down my sword and shield, tap, tap, down by the riverside, tap, tap, down by the riverside, tap, tap, down by the riverside. I'm going to lay down my sword and shield, tap, tap, down by the riverside. I'm going to study a war no more. 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 tap. I ain't gonna, and then that I think. Oh, there's one more tap down at the very end when you get ready to do the repeat. So, but that's the idea, is that it gives you a chance to do one more tool on your guitar that I see lots and lots of fingerstyle players do now. Well, they've done it all along. It's not like it's a new thing. I don't like it, but I know they're doing it. And for some certain songs, it really works. It doesn't work near as well on every song as they would like you to be listening to, but at least it's one more thing to try. So that's what those little snowflakes are for. And I do think it's something that's worth your time to work on a little bit, at least on a song where I've actually written it out purposely to do that. Let's see what else to talk about on this song. I don't think the melody, again, as I'm looking through it, isn't terribly complex. The hard part on this one, when you get to measure 15 and 16 at the top of page 2, that's I ain't gonna study war no more. Is that the learning? War no more. You got to let that be 8 full beats. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, because the chords are busy going bum 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 bum, and you've got to be patient through that when you're playing the melody. Other than that, the melodies is zeros, twos, threes. There's nothing else going on here. And so the melody, again, middle fingers are 2s, ring fingers are 3s. You do have a 4 that shows up, and we've talked about this plenty. Book 3 people, your 4s have got to be your pinky and because otherwise you end up pulling your whole hand out of position, and that's not what we want. Now, technically on this song, because it's in A, you're going to get away with playing in second position and dropping your ones, but I don't think that's really what you want to do. Again, you're still pulling your hand out of position. Just play it in first position. Get comfortable with playing 4-on-4 is what I always say. Pinky, fourth string, fourth fret. If you can get comfy with this, occasionally you're going to be playing your pinky on the fifth string as well. And then in certain keys, you'll end up with it on the first string. But you've got to get comfy with your pinky finger playing the fours, and still working on it for myself, right? So, okay, let's go into the chords. A chord from book 1. Okay. E7, sort of from book 1. Remember with E7, it's just an E chord, but you lift up your ring finger. You go all the way down to measure 13. That's more E7, so we're just those two chords. So the whole first part of the song is A, E7, A, E7, A. That comes from book 2. There's a couple of songs that do that. Okay. When you get to the top of page 2, you're playing that A, and then you're going to lift up your middle finger to get the A7 sound. Okay. It's a little more drama, a little bit more tension to help you move over, because now the D chord shows up in measure 18. D chord. You go back to A, back to E7, back to A, back to A7. Okay, and then when you get to the bottom of 26, you don't go back to the top of the song, you go to 18. And we talk about this pretty regularly right here in my little drawer. I got one of these guys, and when I'm working on paper, I bought this gadget, and I'm against this gadget at this point. But if normally I'm in a 3-ring binder and I see a repeat that doesn't go to the top of the page, I'm like, okay, when I get to 26, I got to go back to 18. So I'm going to put a yellow marker at the beginning of measure 18, so my eye will track there faster. The other place that I put this yellow highlighter in this case is at the beginning of 24, because at the beginning of 24, that's where I have to make the decision about where am I going to go into play the first repeat or the second repeat. So the two places where you use your yellow highlighter, wherever your eye is supposed to track to go back to, and then also at the beginning of the first repeat, so that when you get there, you're like, okay, am I going to play the first repeat? Yeah. Then you go right through it. But if you get there and you're like, oh, this is the second time around, then you go skip to your second repeat. It's not an altogether terrible idea to put a little highlighter at the beginning of the second repeat too. Like in this case, it's kind of far away from where the first repeat begins, and so I want my eye to track there a little bit more carefully. All right. Now, I notice on my piece of sheet music here, it's just getting littered with notes on here. So there'll probably be a few things that get changed when I publish a second edition of this book. And but I think the stuff that I have here is largely secretarial. So hopefully it'll play it well for you. Let's do the chords real quick. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 2-beat counting. 1, 2. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. I'm gonna study. I won't no more. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study. I won't no more. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study. Second ending. I won't no more. Okay, and I just wrote an A chord all the way through there. I do have an E7 on there. Okay, and my note here says question mark whether I need that E7 there. I could just write the A chord out, but it probably gives you a little bit more of a typical ending. A lot of these old folk songs, a lot of these old spirituals, this is an old spiritual. Well, they'll do 4 beats of this and then 4 beats of that. So probably the E7 is correct, and probably it should be 4 beats A, 4 beats of E7, and then 1 big A chord at the end. Those of you guys that are singers, you'll mess around with that till you find the thing that makes most sense. All right, let's play the melody. 1, 2. I'll do 1, 2. There's a little bit of a gap, and then we'll play. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, chunk. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, chunk. 4. Okay, that's what's written. Probably you would do dun. You would probably want to do 2, 2, 3, and just let it ride out and let the chord player do the rest of the work. And you're just going to hold that chord as long as you can. I'll probably mess around with that ending a little bit more. I'm not positive I like what I wrote there. Okay, and we're out of time, so let's play the tough acts real quick and get us out of here. Okay, from the top, 2 beat count in, 2.5 beat count in. 1, 2. 2nd ending. All right. So a few little things I'm changing up as I go along here, but you got the big idea. Those of you guys that are working out of book 3, you're already pretty comfy with all of these things and making it your song as well, right? So just because it's on the paper doesn't mean you have to do it. If you've got a better way to do it, do it. That's it. That's what I know about. That's what I know about laying down your sword and shield. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Let's have a better day than yesterday, right? And let's move on into the future. Tomorrow's concert day, so take some time today to play through everything. Make sure you're comfy with what you got in front of you, and however you want to play it. And then tomorrow we got 9 songs. So, Evelyn, thanks for being here. Nancy, good to see you. Have a wonderful afternoon, and that's what I know. Vic, see you tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget about tonight, right? I forgot about tonight. Don't forget. If I don't show up, play anyway, right? Vic, I'll see you soon. Elizabeth, you are welcome. Thanks for being here. Sherry, good to see you. I love having you here every day. Pauline, take care of yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to yank the stream, and I will see some of you later today, and I'll see the rest of you tomorrow.